Can DCF call law enforcement on me during the investigation in Massachusetts? The overwhelming answer is absolutely. DCF can call, and often does, local, state, and federal law enforcement during a mass DCF investigation in Massachusetts law. You've got to understand that who is DCF? DCF's the government. Who is law enforcement? Whether it's local, state, or federal, they're the government too. And so is the district attorney's office. And you've got to understand, as soon as you hear or you have DCF at your home, you need to remember your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. And you may say to yourself, I got nothing to hide, Kevin. Yeah, you do. Because things are often misconstrued, misstated, or misunderstood, or mistranscribed. And what you're saying may not get to where it needs to go. And whatever you tell DCF, local, state, or federal police, or the district attorney, that can be used against you in any court, whether it's juvenile court, probate and family court, criminal court, to put you in jail. Recently had a case where I represented a mother, and she had children at home. And all of a sudden she called me on my personal cell phone and she says, Kevin, the police are at my home. I said, how many? She said, I got 4 police officers outside. I said, all in blue with a badge and guns? She says, absolutely. I said, ask them why they're there. And they told her they were there because they were looking for a suspect. And I asked my client, I said, is the suspect in your home? She says, absolutely not, Kevin. I said, open the door, welcome the police in, because you're gonna go get a restraining order or some type of governmental order or a subpoena or something to get into your home. Let them in. And let them go anywhere they want, but do not allow them to speak to your children unless I'm present. Leave me on the phone. So the police came in, I introduced myself, talked to them over the phone, tell them have a party, go through the whole house, and also meet with the children, but I want to be present. Now, if there's going to be any problems with this, the reason the police were there, let's make it clear, the reason there's 4 police officers there with badges and guns was to intimidate my client, which didn't work because I was on the phone with them. But that's an awful abuse of police action and police power. To have 4 police officers come into a young woman's home with 3 minor children and try to intimidate them. And who was behind all this? Who was behind all this? Department of Children and Families, DCF, because there was a social worker with the 4 police. Now that social worker denied this till she was blue in the face. And I told her, for you to send 4 police officers to this young woman's house, it's just so wrong. And what effect, forget the mother, forget the parent, what effect did that have on those 3 small children? What effect? To have 4 police officers that are supposed to serve and protect our society show up with badges and guns on a Saturday morning. And I'll tell you something, that was the wrong message to send to anyone and everyone. And not only were there 4 police officers, there was multiple police cars outside the home, and that alerted the whole neighborhood, and all the neighbors are about what happened. And that mother and her children are going to live in that neighborhood. So DC has to tell you about best interest of the children. Well, let me tell you something. That Saturday morning charade was not in the best interest of the mother nor her children. And mother now had a lot of questions to answer to neighbors, and so did her children that had to play out in the streets with these other kids. But DCF doesn't think through what they're doing. And then on that following Monday when I confronted the social worker, she sat there and she gave me a load of nonsense, garbage. You're not telling the truth, and you're not honest. And I had very little, if anything, to do with that social worker. And in the end, the case did get closed, and everybody went home happy. But what you have to remember is that social worker, I wouldn't trust her to walk my dog around the block. And when you break the trust of the people in our society by our government, such as the police or DCF, there's a huge price to be paid. And that is something that should be avoided at all costs by DCF and by the police. They have a bad reputation, a black eye, for trying to intimidate people and to try and hurt people and to go after people. And this poor woman never, ever, ever forgot that Saturday morning, and nor did her children. And her children were really, really, really up against it and scared for a significant period of time. And God only knows if they'll ever trust the police again. And that's the real shame of it all. We put our trust. So it reminds me of the saying that was in Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom in chapter 6, if you read it. Who guards the guardians? Who guards the police from coming out with 4 police officers with badges and guns? They go knock on a young woman's door who's got 3 small tinies. Who guards against that? Awful. All I can say, awful. Shame on you, DCF. Shame on you.